Hello, I don't know if anyone's out there yet. I'm getting ready to do another video, kind of getting all my stuff ready. And I just thought I'd go live for a bit. And apparently I'm not streaming to Rumble. So I'll just remove that destination for now. But anyways, if you're out there, leave a comment. Let me know you're there. If you want to hop in, I put a link up there. And that should help as well. I gotta get everything ready to do a video. I'm going to do one of Angry's meals, and my throat's still a little messed up. Been having allergy problems, and I made the mistake of sneezing with my mouth closed. Don't do that. That stuff hurt. Hello, Agorizer. How are you doing? I'm going to make a few modifications to a recipe Angry sent me. Not much. It's basically the same thing. I'm just going to add a couple items to it and go from there. I got to get everything ready. And of course, I need watch time. So I thought I'd go live. I don't know who else is on. I don't think I have enough subs to worry about hurting them. I think barbecue was saying I was corking him one time. I didn't mean to. It happened. But I'm going to make chicken bombs for my next video. I was going to make stock, and I had all the bones and everything ready. But the power went out last night, and I ended up cooking by lamplight, and I didn't want to open the fridge, so I put the bones back in the little box because I made have my brain fart. Easy chicken and dumplings, which is just something you can throw together real quick. And so I got a rotisserie chicken instead of cooking the chicken. So I put the bones back in the box, and I didn't want to open the fridge because the power was out. And then the dog got all the bones. So I wasn't able to make stock. That is what it is. Maybe next time. Okay. Cleanup done from big yard party for stepson's 40th birthday yesterday. Awesome. I can't remember when the last time I had a birthday party was. It's just another day. That's all birthdays end up being, is another day. Not that that's necessarily bad. I'm moving around, so you can let me know how the volume ends up. Got some spinach to go through. I got to get a few things out of the fridge. And I'm using my new mic, but I don't know how it goes with me walking around my tiny little kitchen. Oh, and where did she put this shirt? Okay, here it is. Got a few things to do. There should be the chicken in here. I don't know where she put that. Big brand new thing of chicken. She better not have thrown it out. Well, I may not be able to make it, so hold on one second. Let me mute this. I need to go ask where she moved everything to. Okay, sorry about that. She moved it to another place. I like having everything in its place. Cooking by lamplight. Well, yeah, you don't have as much vision. But other than that, I think humans have been doing that for a few thousand years. Essentially. So I'm just glad I had them. I have some water running here for just a second. I just sprayed something, and I don't need that on my hands. And I might do some of the filming while I'm doing this live. But yeah, yesterday was kind of weird. It's one of them. I think I know Faust has one. I don't know about Agorizer if he has his channel. You might. When you start filming, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. And it's like this process of learning how to adapt to it, which can be interesting. I don't know what kind of problems y'all have had before during filming, but it seems like every time I film, something happens. There they are. Okay, I got that. I've got chicken, I've got spinach, I've got cream cheese. Trying to think of how I want to do this. That's the other thing. So a lot of what I do is kind of, it's not like set recipe reading from a book kind of thing. It's what do I feel like? And there's numerous possibilities that I could do. Where it's like these right here, I can wrap them in bacon, put them in the oven, cook them, fine. Or I could put them in a skillet and I could kind of sear both sides, then stick them in the oven. You know, wrap them in bacon, stick them in the oven, and finish cooking them. I can do either way. So it's things like that where I'm trying to make up my mind what I want to do. And let me see, spices. What do we have? I was going to add any spices to it other than salt and pepper. It will probably be just a little garlic and probably a little paprika. And just do like a sear on both sides. These two are not open, so I do not want to use them. Here's one that's open. Okay, there we go. There's some things that if I see it in stock, I buy it because it's not always in stock. I think me and a couple of Slavic grandmothers kind of buy up the stock when it's in. One of them is Hungarian paprika, and another one is probably marjoram. All your non-live videos are filled with swearing that gets cut out. because of things that don't. Oh yeah, um, there's probably quite a bit of that on mine too. I mean, I am a truck driver, and I do have some other issues. Like, I don't know if any of y'all picked up on it or not, but I do have Tourette syndrome, and that's usually where it sounds like I'm hiccuping and what have you. And I'm trying not to do that. If I get nervous or something, that gets worse. And so I'm trying not to have that in the video, or I get sick or something, and I'm trying not to cough. I have a small kitchen anyway, so where do I put everything? It's a tiny little 3-bedroom house. It's work for what it is. I like it. I've thought about making the kitchen bigger, but I don't know how to really do that effectively. Because there's one support bearing beam, and I would need a really good carpenter or something to do it. Because I could probably move this one wall about 3 more feet. And I'd love to have like an island in the middle of the kitchen, but I don't think that's enough to do that. So I've got my little, 4-foot wide space down the middle, almost like you're in a tiny little apartment. And I do want to make the one window into a door so I can put a bigger fridge in. So I've got a tiny little fridge, and I stock up on dry goods and what have you. I've got a deep freeze, and that makes cooking interesting as well, because you have to remember to take things out to defrost. And if you do not defrost them, you don't have anything to cook. I mean, there's some things you can do, like, I can cook frozen hamburger meat just because I've done it a million times and I didn't have time. And you're basically taking a slab of frozen hamburger meat and scraping the thawed stuff off the sides, flip it over, and it's a bit of an art, but it's one of them things where you get home, you've got people to feed, you've got teenagers that are hungry, and you've got to cook something, and somebody forgot to take it out, probably me, and one of the things you learn how to do by necessity, because you got to feed everyone. Just how it is. And let me see. What all ingredients? So I've got garlic powder, I've got paprika, I've got spinach. I'm not really gonna need a whole lot of spinach. I would have the camera on, but my camera's messed up right now. It flops around everywhere. And Bob Ross style cooking. That's cool. I have to tape it in place, and one of my things that holds the cameras and all that, it's like this flexible boom, whatever. The end broke off of it. So I kind of got that fixed. I put some tape around it and what have you so I can hold that in place. But the actual swivel that the camera's on, that thing's not working. And that is what it is. So you cook hamburger before freezing. I guess you could do that too. I forget there's a delay. Tara Smith's Kitchen, howdy. Howdy, super bad videos. Your videos are pretty cool too. I tend to listen to things to stay awake when I'm driving down the road. Just because it's monotonous. And most of the songs that I like, I've listened to a million times by now. And it doesn't matter. It can be heavy metal. It can be blues, whatever. And it'll still put me to sleep. You listen to Ride the Lightning a few million times, you just go to sleep. It's not pumping you up like it used to. And you will fall asleep with your eyes wide open. That is just a fact. So I'm going to go through some of the spinach and stuff while I'm talking. And I need to select out some leaves and everything. I'll probably film myself cutting it up. I'm going to use my camera for my phone for a camera. And I might film some of this stuff while I'm talking. So I guess that would be a inside track into what I do. I don't know. I'm going to pluck this stuff off, and so I don't want big stems. Wash it, and then I'll chop it up. I don't know what order I'm going to put that into. Oh, updates on my bike. They've got all the parts. They got it in the shop, and then the mechanic found a few things that should have been caught when they originally went through it. They got those parts in, but it's probably going to be the 30th or the 31st before they can get my bike back in the shop. And I owe a little bit more money towards my deductible. So that's not bad. I mean, I could pay to get it out of the shop completely right now, but I'd rather have that little bit of money for in case I need it. So I've been paying a little bit along the way. The deductible is only $1,000, and compared to the repairs, because it's like $7,000 in repairs. And there's some things I can do myself. If it was an older bike, I could do a lot more. Last time I worked on a bike, it was carbureted, and it had jets for the oil because they were going from, having to mix your oil to, okay, put your oil in this little container and it'll inject it into the cylinder, and that never works. So you just mix your oil anyways. And so the last bike I worked on was from the 70s. And actually my Suzuki and both my Kawasaki's were that way. So the Harleys were too old. But I also added mustache bars and floorboards to it. I'll probably eventually put dual shifters and a bigger brake pedal and that sort of thing, and change out the clutch lever and the brake lever. But I'll do that myself once I find the right one, because I kind of know what I want, but I want something that goes with the bike better. Then it's got those big clamshells that Harley likes to put on it right now. They work, but it's not necessarily what I'm looking for. And I'm just glad it wasn't total. My wife probably isn't. I'm pretty sure she wishes it was total. And I don't know if it's just, it runs in the family to injure yourself doing stupid stuff like that. But my niece was racing BMX bikes yesterday, and I'm kind of a little bit pissed off because my sister's boyfriend should have gone over her bike a little bit better. And I don't know how the newer generation is I'm Gen X. I was born in the 70s. And the only way I ever had a bike was you went to the junkyard or you went to the scrap hole where people threw all their trash. And you pulled old bikes out and you got a wheel off of this and handlebars and you found a good frame and you put a bike together. Shangy girl, nice to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Let's see. Good evening, Miss Host, gorgeous and amazing people here are surrounded. Wow. I can't remember where you're at. I think you're in the Caribbean somewhere. And there's some stuff going on down there in a few places right now. I hope you're not in one of those places. But I don't know if y'all could relate. The only way I ever had anything, I had to build it. And, handlebars and stuff would be something that I would automatically check, especially if I was going to BMX a bike, like racing around the track, jumping and everything else. It's basically like a dirt bike kind of event, but you've got pedals. And her handlebars went one way, her steering wheel went the other way, or steering wheel front wheel, whatever you want to call it, went the other way. And she went airborne, and it was like a 4-bike pileup. And she broke both of her wrists. So I'm pissed off in 2 points. Number one, my sister's boyfriend should have went over that bike with her pretty well. And she should be learning how to work on that bike. She lives in Oklahoma. I live in Texas. I got the hell out of Oklahoma. There's no jobs. There's no nothing. So I got out of there as fast as I could. And, she's 12, but she should learn how to do all this. The second thing I'm pissed off about is she should have had a lot more gear they make knee pads, they make shoulder pads, they make suits. It's got all the padding put in it, even for BMX. BMX, it's a little bit lighter than the stuff for like motocross and that sort of thing, but it's got the padding, and they have wrist braces that would have probably kept her from breaking her wrist. And I'm kind of pissed off that she wasn't wearing those. And I don't know what to do about it. I did tell my sister that if she's going to keep doing this, go to Cycle Gear. They've got anything you want for anything on 2 wheels. And I know they have a Cycle Gear and Tulsa. I will pay for it. As long as she has the gear, I don't care. It's just one of those things you have to have. Especially if you're competing like that. If you want to ride your Harley or what have you, and blue jeans and a t-shirt or shorts and tennis shoes, that's going to suck when you wreck. If you don't wear a helmet, it's personal responsibility. You have a right to do that. But if you're competing and you're flying around the track and there's a high likelihood of people wiping out yourself, you really need to wear gear. And that just is. You need to wear it. So I'm pissed off about it. She had surgery last night, and I think she's seeing an orthopedic surgeon, and they're going to have to do another surgery on Tuesday. And if she was wearing the braces on her wrist, she probably wouldn't have to. That's why you wear gloves when you ride a motorcycle or anything anyways. Your instinct is to put your hands down, to brace yourself. You're falling, and it takes a while to kind of learn how to fall, if that makes any sense. And of course, they're not dealing with sliding down asphalt or concrete or what have you, but dirt and gravel and all that can hurt you too. And just the force obviously can break bones. That's just what it is. So she really needs that gear. And I'm pissed off at the moment that she didn't have it. So, other than that, I'm sitting here pulling stems off of spinach. You only ever broke your pinky toes. That was painful. Yeah, nothing close to what your niece had to deal with. Well, that is fortunate, and I congratulate you. I've broke my arms. I've broke my legs. Broke my feet. Broke my toes. Broke my fingers. I broke my hands. I broke my hands putting them through a wall. I've broke my face, my cheekbones. I split my skull right down the seam in the middle. Like right between your two front teeth, there's a seam that goes right up your skull. And I've broke that. And I've been through windshields. I've had life flight. I've been blown up. I've had all kinds of things happen. Been covered in every chemical known to man. I'm just waiting for my superpowers. You know, like in the comic books. I mean, obviously that's not going to happen, but it's kind of a joke between me and a few of my friends that, I'm going to get superpowers, but it's going to be something stupid. Like the ability to stop time, but only if you're not moving. You know, how somebody falls in the vat of whatever it is. And then there you've got a comic book story. I'd probably write one based on events. Had several people recently tell me that I should write a book, but I wouldn't know how to title it or what section to put it in, or if I really want to write about all that. But life has been interesting. It's not really something to complain about, so let me see. This is enough spinach. It's about a handful. So what is that? I also struggle on measurements because I have this amount in my head of, okay, this is the amount that I need. This is what it's going to cook down to. And then I have to measure that out to, what is that, a cup? 2 cups? I'm thinking a handful is going to be close to about 2 cups. I think. I'm not positive. So but it is. It's something. So the other thing is when you have 2 people doing things, it's what did the other person do? I like being more organized. I like everything in a place. Everything has its place, and that's where it goes. My wife is not like that. Drives me crazy. Lifestyles of the tough and hospitalized. Possibly. That are The names have been changed to protect the guilty. I don't know. Yeah. Um, Getting blown up isn't fun. It's more like you're really close to something that explodes and it's fiery and there's nothing you can do about it. It's like, everybody's scared of somebody with a gun or what have you, these psychos, and yes, they're psychos, and yes, they can hurt people, but there are far more terrifying things. And at least with that, you have a chance, and you have something you can do. There's options. You can run, you can shoot back, you can do all kinds of things, but there are far more terrifying things. Like that guy they got all quiet about that blew up his RV in, what was that, Nashville 2 or 3 years ago? You have people doing stuff like that. And to me, that's much more terrifying. I've been around tanks and stuff that's been blown up and everything else, and it's just instant. There's no warning, there's no nothing. It's just boom. And you're trying to figure out what happened. That to me is far more terrifying than some psycho with a gun. Probably because I still have like nightmares or daymares, whatever you want to call them, where it's like the only way I can describe it is getting hit in the face with a sledgehammer. That just sudden, you're slammed. And it's just that feeling of that. And I still have that. That might be why it scares me more. I don't know. Can't be much more anonymous than Smith. Or I could tell you what that originally was, but it's hard to pronounce it. Means the same thing. There's a lot of things that mean the same thing. Like most Slavic languages, if you know someone named Kovacs, that means Smith. Or in Gaelic, it's like Meckengabin. I can't pronounce it in Gaelic, but it was anglicized. And the Smith in my family, that's where it came from. It's an anglicized Irish name. Because the English fucked over the Irish. Historically, and quite a bit. Cool. Yeah, they'll do that. Um, yeah, and you kind of try to piece things together afterwards. It's weird. It's like a bit of slow-mo and a bit of piecing things together. Because it's actually not slow-mo. It's how your mind is trying to rationalize what is going on. And you're like, did that really happen? Did it not? Do I have all my fingers and toes? And that sort of thing. Then you get to deal with that goofy ass, it's just burn cream. It kind of feels like it's got grit in it, and it has this medicine smell. And I think Elizabeth Arden originally created it. And I don't know, she's goopy and it sucks. So I've got burn scars. I've got scars where I was ripped open. I've had other scars from other things that are not so fun. But I'm alive, and that's the main point so far. A friend of mine was laughing at that the other day. Said, well, a few weeks ago. Said, I'm alive so far. And he's like, that's the perfect description of me. I'm alive so far. So, I need more water running for a second because I got to wash this. Let me know how loud that was. And my voice is probably going to get worse, but what the hell? It's not like I'm exactly known for my intelligence. Not that I'm stupid. I just say stupid shit. I actually skipped grades. But it was more because we were homeless. And I just didn't go to school. Oh yeah, there's things that never stop hurting. Could barely hear it. Got you running through the truck speakers. Okay. I'm usually running everything through the truck speakers, so I got you. See if I can set this camera up on my phone. Get the image right. Video. Get it in the position that I want. Because I'm not over the stove. I'm over the bar. And y'all are going to get to hear this. So, hold on. You might hear me cursing. If I start filming, I'll start coughing. And I'm going to chop up about a handful of spinach leaves. And I'm going to say this is probably about 2 cups worth of spinach leaves. Okay, I just filmed that, so you'll get to see that in the video. Spinach cooks down. A lot of leafy things cook down. Or it's like you've got a pound of spinach, but you only end up with like a cup of cooked spinach. I'm going to scoot this over this way. And I got cream cheese. I gotta mash all this stuff up. And I do appreciate y'all for watching. I do need the watch time. I would love to get my channel to a point where it's monetized, but I had it on the computer earlier, which is what I'm live on right now. I'm hardly ever on the computer. I'm usually on a phone. Eventually, I'll get to the early 21st century. I don't know, as far as technology wise, but I need a lot more subs. I'm like a quarter of the way on subs and probably an eighth of the way there on watch hours. Because realistically, well, I've got a lot of views, but most of the views are from like the shorts. Which I think I've gotten some recent subs from the shorts. You know, people seeing them, which is kind of what I'm trying to do. Because most of my subs are from the same community. And I think in order to get enough subs to do what I'm wanting to do, I'm still going to do some prepping stuff. And sorry about that. I'm still, occasionally going to do some firearm stuff. I don't know if it needs to be a separate channel or not at some point, but I need more people from outside of my normal clique, if that makes sense, to sub to get my numbers up that high. So unless I'm doing a whole bunch of firearms videos and all that kind of stuff, I don't think I'm going to get enough. Just from the clique that I'm usually in. So I've got cream cheese in here. And what else do I need? Garlic. I don't actually need that much though. Maybe like one good sized clove. Yeah, that ought to work. One good sized clove. Cool, the trash can's within reach. So right now I'm peeling garlic. I've got a brand new garlic press that I have not tried out yet. And so I usually just smash my garlic. And this would be a good opportunity to try it out. G23, welcome. Krabby Turtle, welcome. Of course, Mark Seitz. Welcome. I don't know if I said that earlier. And I'm going to go back to film one more thing here. Just a second. The way I do this, I have to be careful because I need to film it one way and the phone will flip to the other way. So that sucks. And some garlic. I've actually never used a garlic press. That may sound weird. I've always just smashed it. But hey, why not try it out? Seems to be the thing everyone wants to do. I don't know how you're supposed to clean this thing. Maybe this will turn out better. Talking a little bit more relaxed. I do not know. So, and now I'm going to add the chopped spinach. And I gotta mix all this up. It helps to have your cream cheese really soft. Warmed up. And of course, I did not do that. So I'm a glutton for punishment. It's not frozen or anything. It's just is what it is. So I'm going to mix all this up with the garlic. And this is what's going to go inside the chicken. Still debating on whether or not I want to kind of sear them first and then wrap them in bacon. I'm not sure. To use StreamYard, you don't need a certain number of subs. And it'll ask you for your destination. I can't remember. You might have to get like a stream key or something like that off of YouTube. I know on Rumble you do. And Rumble is a pain in the ass. All my stuff is backed up on Rumble for a reason. YouTube may go through my videos one day and say, I don't like that, and cancel me. But to live stream, which I'm not live streaming to Rumble, I went to set it up. I messed it up. My wife was messing with me. And I'm just not doing the Rumble for the stream. It'll post to Rumble later afterwards. But you've also got to pay for StreamYard to do the multicasting. I think you can do so many hours on StreamYard without paying. I'm not sure how many hours that is. But if you're going to multicast, which right now I'm on Twitch and I'm on YouTube. And so if anybody's on Twitch, let me know, leave a comment. I'll see that. Or if you have Twitch, it's the same name, Tara Smith's Kitchen on Twitch. And I'm broadcasting over there. Am I all healed up from my accident? For the most part. My shoulder is just going to take a long time to heal. Ligaments, stuff like that, that's just the way it is. I can kind of feel the difference in the muscle. And my chiropractor was saying it's like at the top where the bicep connects up in your shoulder, connects in two places. My leg is closed, the skin's kind of thin, and I've got to wear, compression hose for the foreseeable future. So that's fun. Look like a grandmother. And that could happen. I hope he waits on that. Get a little bit older. If I had to change anything, I would have waited a few more years. Become a little more financially stable. But I think that's most of us. So I'm mixing this cream cheese with a fork, and I'm about to add Colby Monterey Jack to it. Okay, I'm back. Oh, there's a little bit of nerve damage in my leg. I don't think my foot's ever going to feel the same. It's just not. There's definitely arterial damage. The artery was severed. And so the blood has to find new routes to get back up. And that's why my leg was swelling up so much. And why I have to wear the compression hose. So that's fun. Now that I have all that mixed in there, I should probably use a measuring cup for the cheese. I have to force myself to use measuring cups. Just because. I mean, it depends on what it is. If I'm trying to cook off a recipe, I'll measure everything exact. If I'm doing my own thing, it's like, okay, a little of this, a little of that. I know about how much this is. Dog, what are you doing? I have a mastiff in here that smells food. How are you? Hopefully that wasn't too loud. And go back to filming. Make sure the camera is at the right angle. And now I'm going to mix in about a half a cup of Colby Jack cheese. And this is just the stuffing. Try to close this cheese back up. Just HEB, because I live in Texas. Colby and Monterey Jack. Okay. We'll see how this video turns out. And there's I was noticing on the analytics today. I went through and I was reading on the monetization and all that your watch time from like your shorts and the stories and stuff like that does not count towards your 4,000 hours of watch time. So it's basically just your videos and your live streams. Yeah, puppy wants a sample. He wants everything. So now I have to mix all this together with a fork. I don't have fancy utensils for the most part. A stand mixture would be awesome for like dough and that sort of thing, but I just have to do it by hand, how humans have done that for years and years until the past few decades. It works though. Okay, that's mixed in there pretty good. A little bit too much spinach, but okay. I didn't put all of it in there. I'll correct that on the recipe. I'd say there's probably about a cup and a half of spinach in here. 1 8-ounce thing of cream cheese. And about a cup of Colby Monterey Jack. And it's all mixed together. So next, is there another knife? Not really. I need to wash this thing, so bear with me. I have to cut the chicken open and I have to stuff it. And then I'm going to use toothpicks and I'm going to close them back together with toothpicks. So they don't come open. Here's one, here's the other. See if I can remember right how to do this. Start with this big, meaty portion. And I'm going to cut from here. Okay. Views. I think that's my previous comments. Yeah, my shorts get way more views. I had to read your comment before that. It's just the views on the shorts don't count towards the 4,000 according to what I was reading on YouTube. I was going through, I selected the monetization, and I was selecting the definitions. And unfortunately, they don't seem to count. So, go back to here. And of course, we're going to start from the meatiest end of the chicken breast. And we're going to cut this open all the way. And we're going to stuff it. So we're going to see how this turns out. You delivered to HEB and lost it when you found out what it meant. You know, he had a time in school, probably. But HEB is all over Texas. It's one of the things, you live in Texas, you're probably going to be shopping a lot at HEB. And Walmart, like everywhere else, but a lot of HEB. Okay. Now that it's stuffed, I wish my other camera was working. I was going to have it going too. But I could not get the thing to sit still. It's that swivel, whatever you want to call it, on the other camera. basically on the camera, not my phone. I'm actually filming this other stuff on my phone. And that swivel thing, I was going to tape it, but I couldn't really find enough tape to do it right. Come from under here. The, how should I put this? The thinner pieces of the chicken are easier to hold together with the toothpicks. So let me film this. Once you have your chicken breast stuffed, you'll want to take toothpicks and close up the end so that it doesn't come open while you are cooking it. There we go. Hopefully it turns out good. So that's one chicken breast, at least stuffed. Now I get to do the other one. From which end? This end's kind of already open, so I'm going to use that end. You got to kind of feel where the knife blade is so you don't go all the way through. For anyone that just joined, I'm filming this while I'm filming a video. Or I'm live while I'm filming another video. And I'm doing an angry meal that'll be posted later. It's okay, that did not turn out as well as the other one. It happens. I could probably fix it. Talking when I should be paying attention to what I'm doing. Like I said, if it can go wrong, it will go wrong. One of them is perfect. The other, not so much. Okay. And if y'all cook these, what you want to do after they're done is remember how many toothpicks that you put in here and remove them. Here we go. Cool. Well, one of them turned out perfect. Hello, Fine 8. Mark Sipes, you were in Mesquite last Thursday, 103 degrees. Could be worse. You could be down here at 103 degrees with all the humidity. Because that shit's fun. Now, I'm going to wrap these in bacon. I don't know. Might try it both ways. We shall see. Fun thing. We'll be finding all of these toothpicks when I'm done. So there's that. That one is done. Now for the next one. I don't know, should I sear it? I might sear this one. Like I said, I do a lot of things on the fly. I don't know what to do. Do you know I need to move a few things out of the way? Probably write this down for filming. Might help to have it clean. before I wrap this one in bacon, I'm going to sear it. I need to sear it first. Okay. What pan do I want to use? That won't work. So I'm going to season this one. See where we're at. Okay. I hope to open this first. And this. Have a little salt. Should I need it? I don't know. So now filming. This one I'm going to season both. See? If I wasn't also live, that would be where there would be cursing. I need a drink of something. Vodka at this point would help. I don't know where the vodka is. Okay, that's not good. Nothing but I do have a glass. And I have a little bit of rye. This guy in Humble, I've got an autographed bottle from him. Old Humble Distilling Company. He's got a YouTube channel if you want to check it out. It's pretty cool. Let me go grab something else. Now, what I was unclear on was, is that 4,000 hours in a year or just 4,000 hours total? I couldn't find that out for the monetization. If anyone knows, let me know. It'd be helpful. You see, the Jarhead 133. Saw you in Never Enough Ammo Shed. Yes, you subscribed to, and I subscribe to you. Thank you so much. I need all the subs I can get. I'm kind of filming a video while I'm live, and my camera's messed up for the computer. So I'm filming a video on my phone, and I'm live. And we're going to see how this goes. See if I curse. I don't know. This breast, I'm going to season both sides, and I'm going to sear it. And I'm going to put just a little bit of salt. And and a little bit of paprika and a little bit of garlic powder. Not too much. It's already got garlic inside it. There we go. Now I can probably do the other side. So I'm putting garlic powder, sweet Hungarian paprika, and just a little bit of salt on each side. I'm going to get some olive oil warmed up in this pan. You do not need a whole lot of olive oil. Hey, cool, the burner came on. I didn't even have to use a match. Now if my stove was level, that would help. What am I forgetting? I'm always forgetting something. Here's tongs. That'll help. See if I can set my phone up on the other side just for a second. Can, but this is going to be completely in a different direction. Okay. As long as it works. And then move this over the stove. And I'm going to put this in there. I'm going to sear this one for about 2 to 3 minutes on each side. And then we're going to put it in the oven. Is this big enough? I'm not sure. That one is. I should probably make sure I have a pan big enough beforehand. Looks like 4,000 in a 12-month period. I think I'm close to 300 right now. Just nowhere near where I need to be. So I'm trying to figure out how to do that. Where did she put the aluminum foil? I love my wife, but she drives me crazy. Here we go. Turn this thing. That is going to look pretty. As usual, you don't want your heat up too high. Kind of medium high, little over medium. Just putting a little bit of a sear on it. Then I'm going to wrap it in bacon. Start getting my oven warmed up. Probably should have already done that. Let's set it at 400. Who else still out there? I got 3 people watching. So I'm doing one without searing it. And the other one I am searing. I have to bring this thing over. There we go. Turn that off. Now I need some watch time. I don't know if anybody else's chat is on. If it is, I'm probably fixing to lose a bunch of people. So that bacon's gone. Bacon from Costco. I've actually thought about doing a video on like some of my food stores. You don't really need, well, depending on what you're storing up for, but the average person just kind of wants to be prepared or something. You don't have to go extreme prepper level. I'm probably closer to the extreme. But I can share some of my overflow. And, you know, how long you could probably exist off of that. Which is like my overflow above the washer and dryer. You know, I put a few things there that I need to get to and what have you. If I really had to, and things were that bad, I could probably survive off of that for a couple months. Easily. Okay. Let's keep this stuff out of the way. Now I've got one of them seared and wrapped with bacon, and the other one is just wrapped with bacon. And I'm going to put them in the oven at 400. Should be about 20 minutes or until done. Okay, there we go. That part of the filming's done. And I'll put these in the oven. And I might just fry up a few pieces of bacon. Just because I want bacon. I don't know. I may be able to make something else out of it. I've got toothpicks. I've got more filling here. Too bad I don't have a pepper. A pepper would work awesome. Because then I could stuff the pepper. Or, here's an idea. Take this big ass spinach leaf. That might actually work. So now I've stuffed the spinach leaf. I'm like completely making this up as I go. Kind of see what I can do with it. Didn't have a jalapeno. That would have been kind of cool. Would have stuffed it. So I'm going to see how this works. So all of you who are still watching, are getting a preview to my madness. We'll see if these turn out. I don't know, but it is proving fun to wrap. Well then, hold on a second. I have an idea. Kind of things. This might be better done with a skewer. Anyways, I'm about to find out. Take some pictures of it. And I'll see how that turns out. Turns out good, I'll make another one. So who else is out there? Poblano. Oh, I'm cooking the chicken bombs right now. Yeah, a poblano would work really well for that. That might be another thing I'll do. Oh yeah, the cream cheese with the spinach and the garlic and the cheese, stuff a poblano pepper with that, wrap it with bacon. That would be awesome. Thank you, Mark Sykes. If I had a poblano right now, I would do that. But I don't. I'm just doing something to use up the rest of this filling and seeing how it turns out. And I don't know, but we'll find out here very shortly. Okay, it looks like the only person I'm corking is Rachel. It's Sunday Church Live. I don't know what that's about. Sounds a little crazy. But M. Gabriel, I am cooking the chicken bombs, and they should be ready in about 15 more minutes. How to enhance ramen. That's an idea. I used to keep a Coleman dual fuel in the truck. You got to leave the windows cracked if you're going to use it. Kind of set it up on some wood Either that or use it on the catwalk. And I would cook like hamburger helper and all kinds of stuff. Strangely enough, the Coleman Iceless, what is that, 26, something like that, will actually keep things cold enough you can keep hamburger meat and stuff like that in there for a few days. A lot of the things used to cook in a truck don't last very long. They kind of suck. Like the water bottles and everything. Like, oh, this is a cool idea. I'm going to have a water thermos. And I'm going to cook ramen with it and all that. And the elements in them want to burn out. And you feel like you waste your money. And then you just get used to going in and using the hot water off the coffee pot. Like, hey, can I get some hot water? Most of them are full. Whoa. That whiskey's kind of strong on my sore throat. How do I do this side? This is something you're going to have to turn. It is coming apart just a little bit. I think I can fix that. Ramen's like ramen though, unless you're getting like real ramen. My son would actually be better with that. He's into all that stuff. Maybe because I ate it for so many years. I don't necessarily like the regular ramen. If I'm gonna have ramen, I try to get go to the Oriental section and pick out the little things. Something I have found that works really good is you can get hot water instead of doing like the ramen noodles. Is they have like the instant packets or whatever for like miso soup, things like that. If you go to the like Oriental section in whatever grocery store, they'll have that. And it's kind of like a change up thing. It's every once in a while I still eat ramen. It's just when you eat it day after day because you're broke and you're poor. It's like I can't eat cold Spam anymore. I had too many cold Spam sandwiches with a little mustard between 2 slices of bread because that's all I could afford. And I didn't have refrigeration. Let's see if I can turn this again without it falling apart. Okay, here we go. That should not need much time. Spam's actually pretty good cooked. And I did a video, and I did my gravy a little thick. You can make it thinner. But I did Spam gravy over rice. And the trick of Spam, you want it to taste more like sausage, like you're doing gravy and stuff with it. But you want to add a little bit of sage. And that'll give it more of a sausage flavor. But Spam is still one of my main prep items. I think if I have to choose a can of chicken or Spam, I might choose the Spam. Okay, let's see how this turned out. Not bad. Probably better done in the oven. I think that's how I'll do the next one. If I can find a big enough spinach leaf, I will cook it in the oven. I mean, it's already preheated. I will figure this one out. But a poblano pepper would have been awesome. Oh, I crack an egg in a lot of things. Like, it's half my soups will have like one egg in it, kind of blended up. It's actually pretty good. Only problem is cooking it in a skillet like that, the bacon isn't as even as I'd want it. So I think next I'll try the oven. Soy sauce is good too. Hot sauce of your choice. Got all kinds of flavors of Tabasco. There's a sauce, I can't remember the name. It's not duck sauce, but it's an Oriental one. Works kind of good. I'm going through all that effort. I would rather put together a meal, but I don't stay gone that long anymore. I usually am gone like a week at the most, unless I break down or something. So I'll meal prep on the weekends. So I'm usually home either a Saturday or a Sunday. And I'll take the food with me. Like usually what you see me cook on the weekend. And like I cooked chicken and dumplings yesterday. And that video's out. If you haven't watched it, please do. Give me some likes and shares and that sort of thing. But I will be taking the chicken and dumplings with me on the road, and walking in the truck stop and can I borrow your microwave? And doing it that way. And any truck driver knows exactly what I'm talking about. A lot of people do it. Some places don't like it because, I mean, they're not there to provide you a microwave. They're there to provide you money. But, you know, I'll do my fuel, all that stuff first. That way, if they say anything, I've got a fuel ticket, something like that to go off of. It's like, I'm not freeloading. Of course, at this point, it's not because I can't afford the trucks. Well, you can't afford to eat 3 times a day in a truck stop. It's just too expensive. But it's more, even the unhealthy food that I cook at home is healthier than anything you're going to get at a truck stop. It just is. Sriracha, tapatio with everything. Yeah, that works good. Tapatio, chicken fried steak. I mean, I still like Tabasco because that's just what I grew up with. And you just turn that white gravy on the chicken fried steak red. Then you go up north and they look at you like, white people do that? Yeah, we do. And sriracha ketchup's pretty good. How many more minutes we got? These are kind of big. They've been in there close to 20 minutes. I'm going to give them probably 5 more minutes. I might even turn this on. There we go. I got a shitty oven. You can eat truck stop sushi if you want. All I can tell you about that is if a truck stop has sushi, try to make sure you're down for your 34 because you're not going anywhere. Although you won't have to worry about buying any of those products that are supposed to clean out your colon because I'm pretty sure it'll do that for you. In fact, I'm 100% sure it will. It's like they used to have a salad bar, but the problem with that is most truck drivers don't wash their hands. And they grab the tongs with their unwashed hands. And then you grab the tongs after them. And you've got whatever on your hands. And it's like, if I'm going to eat a salad, I want it made. I don't want the salad bar. My coworkers are not exactly known for having good hygiene practices. You know? Rather the opposite. Cool. An hour and 55 minutes. I drive for a little local company now. I had my own trucks for years. I've had 5 of them. I was leased on to Landstar for a long time. And I got their Million Mile Safe Driving Award. So that was pretty cool. To actually be at a company long enough to get 1,000,000 miles, which, drivers will say, oh, I can do that in 5 years. No, you're not. Nearly 8 years, maybe. You'll be pretty close to 8 if you're running hard. And it actually took me 11 years to do that. So I figured out a long time ago, it's not how many miles you run. A lot of people, they brag out how many miles they get with this company, with that company, and what have you. And I don't like running by the mile because that just wears you and the truck out. I run percentage. And the goal is to run as few miles as possible for as much money as possible. I don't want to know how many miles that you drove. I want to know how much money you're making. If you're having to push everything and run 4,000 miles a week, which you can't really do legally, to make enough to feed yourself, which a lot of places are like that, that's just bullshit. You need to find someplace else. When you leave, they'll have somebody else in the seat, and that's any trucking company. Before that, I was with JCT out of Sapulpa, Oklahoma. I actually grew up in Northeast Oklahoma. Before then was Stevens Transport, but I already had my CDL before I went to there. Before that, I was with WT Byler. They're a construction company. I was on a switch and a rail crew. We did railroad, and you hauled the equipment that you ran. I run dozers, excavators, front end loaders. A lot of the times we would use excavators like cranes because everything's on a slope. And you can put your bucket down and you can maneuver. And you would you'd have this big section of track, like a big switch or something like that, and you've got to drag it from where they put it together, maybe 1.5 miles up in the woods to where it goes. So you're working in tandem with another excavator, and you get it up on the tracks, and you're going across a bridge, and you can't see underneath you. You can see beside you, but your tracks are hanging over the side. And you've really got to do that with somebody that you trust, and or they will put rail through your windshield. And half the time you're doing that in the morning, and there's dew on the tracks. Or even you're changing out railroad ties with a backhoe. And we never had high rails in the backhoes. We had them on like the dump trucks and stuff, which is pretty cool. And the beds would turn. You could dump the rock wherever they needed it. But the backhoe, you would put your bucket down, and the inside of your back wheels would catch the track. And how you steered was with your turning brakes. And that could get interesting. What's even more interesting than that is walking like a little D4 or something like that down the tracks. And half the time you'd have like swamp pads or something on it. And there's dew all over the tracks. It's slippery. And you're out in the middle of a bridge. That was fun. Started seeing too many people get hurt. I think everybody has a thought of making a killdozer at some point. I don't even think that guy was specific Republican or Democrat or anything like that. He was more that city was screwing him over bad. I'm gonna let that cook for a little bit longer. It's 25 minutes so far. The chicken looks like it's done, but the bacon looks like it needs to go a little bit more. So I watched the documentary. I've watched a bunch of stuff on that one, but it's a long time ago that I watched it. But it's like they basically shut down his business. You know, he couldn't get anything in and out. He couldn't get him to redirect anything, you know, the construction. And the city was like, F you, we don't care. So what are you going to do at that point? Not much you can do. And he was just frustrated and he had enough. I think everyone, probably no matter what side of the political spectrum you're on, can probably relate to that. Just that frustrated, fed up. There's nothing you can do about it. Government's just going to do what it wants to do with you. And you're pretty much screwed. Okay, I'm going to try another one of these spinach things. Now I wrapped it with one piece of bacon, made it smaller. See how that turns out. I've never really cooked bacon in the oven. So, ooh, it's getting close. It's getting close. It's getting real close. Like close enough, I almost want to take that out. No. I'll let it cook a little longer. It's Angry's recipe. A lot of those good old boys, especially when it comes to town politics and what have you, doesn't matter what party they belong to. They can be Republican voting and all that. But when it comes to you, it's more of a class struggle kind of thing. And you're not on the same level as them. You're not their people as far as they're concerned. You know, and you don't have to be poor, that's a strike, or, you know, lower income or what have you. You can just be, you're not politically in with the people of that town. Some of y'all live in a small town, you might get that, where it's like, you know, the cops are crooked as hell. Dog, what did you do that for? Okay, I'm not using that piece of bacon. I'm sitting here, I'm pulling a piece of bacon out of the pack. I have a mastiff that just sneaks up next to me ever so quietly. As my hands pulled back, he grabs the piece of bacon out of my hand. I don't blame him, but it's like, really? Come on. There's another one. Oh, yeah. Hana's pretty cool. There's some things he's a little out there on, but for the most part, he can talk with most people. There's some people he can't. There's some people I'm friends with that he can't. But there's sort of a problem where people are getting to where they can't talk to each other. And it's like they'll agree on 99% of all things. Okay, cool. But there's this one topic that they can't agree on. And they're mortal enemies. Now, sometimes that topic's worth it. A lot of times it's not. And we're just extremely divided. But back to the whole dog, will you get out of here? Small town politics things and all that. It doesn't matter as much what political party you belong to as where you rank in the whole social thing of the town. That whatever culture they have going on. And if you're not up with them, they don't care. And they will screw you over. Bacon needs to get done. A little bit longer. Bacon needs to be a little bit darker. Like I said, I've never really cooked them in the oven. That's what it is. Something if these will work better smaller. Just the filling. The spinach leaves are off of bacon. Wishing I had a poblano pepper. Thank you for that, Mark Sites. That would just be perfect. I've been on Honda's chats before. I've been on NEA's chats too. I've even been on Yankees chats when you used to actually have chats with people. He hasn't had a chat with people in a while though. Other than NEA. It's kind of cool when NEA and Honda get to yelling. It was a lot cooler when they got to yelling with, well, for an amount of time. It was cooler when they were yelling with Yankee. As long as they didn't carry on too long. Carry it on too long. I hope this gets old. Yeah, plastic spatula. Frying these up at the moment. Do not want to forget these things. Okay, one looks nearly done. I think I said that a minute ago. Like I said, I'm not used to doing bacon in an oven. I've always done it on a skillet. Or on a grill. A grill would be awesome right now. Okay, these look a little bit better. Oh yeah, your band's awesome. Move this over here. Take another picture of this. Cool. That turned out better. Try to put the toothpicks in them where you can kind of roll it around. Make them smaller, a little bit narrower. And that seems to work best. When are these chicken bombs going to be done? I think that's about as close. That's damn near done. That is 40 minutes. That's way too long. We should be done already. But they're not. And this is my supper tonight. And thank you for everyone that's still watching. I need the watch time. Yeah, you're a drummer. I sound like a guitar player on the drums. I mean, I can drum, but I sound like a guitar player on the drums. I think it goes better the other way, like the Eddie Van Halen route, where you start off on the drums and go to guitar. If you kind of go one to the other. And anymore, I'm just beating the hell out of an acoustic. I mean, I've still got my Les Paul. I've got an old Marshall JCM and it's JCM 2000. I can use it for a head. It's valve over tooth. The clean side is tooth. And I can basically get whatever sound that I want out of it. So I put an old school tube in it a long time ago. I can't remember what it was. Hank's Guitar Shop did that for me. I don't even think they're there anymore. And I can get all the old sounds and everything I want on the clean channel just by turning up the gain and doing it old school. And then I can get the newer sounds on the valve side, which is the dirty side. And I can get pretty much what I wanted. I don't use a lot of pedals. I went through that phase a little bit in the 90s, like everyone else did. But I kind of grew out of it. I figured out how to make all those sounds with the guitar and with the amp. The only pedals that I'll really use anymore would be either a wah pedal or like a compressor sustainer. I've still got a TS9. That's pretty cool. But a wah pedal, maybe a volume pedal, something like that. I can get everything else I need. Well, a channel select. You know, you can go back and forth between your clean and your dirty sounds, that sort of thing. But I'm really not into the channel. The what do you call it? Like, people used to have these big pedal boards, and I mean, they had all kinds of pedals on there. And a pedal is not going to make your playing better. It may mask things. You know, it depends on how you're using it too. If you can already play good and you're using it as an enhancement, then it's good. But if you can't play very well, I'm sure you've seen a lot of people like this. Go to Guitar Center, you'll hear a lot of them. And you're using a pedal to mask your skill level, then it doesn't end up good. It's sort of like even heavy metal songs, I'll learn them on an acoustic first. I'll get all my tones and everything right, and then I'll transfer that to an electric. And it sounds so much better. Just about anything, master it on an acoustic first, then take it to the electric. That's just me, though. I don't know if you have a similar opinion or not. I don't have a whole lot of opinion on drums, other than if somebody wants to learn how to play them. Ringo Starr is an excellent person to listen to for learners. Before you start getting complicated with double kicks and all that stuff. I'm more guitar. It took me a little bit playing with other people too, because I was used to playing with like my grandfather in church. And obviously I'm kind of following him. Well, when you play in a band with other people, you don't follow another guitar. You follow the drums. If you don't follow the drums, you're going to be a step behind everyone else. And that takes a little bit of getting used to if you're not used to doing it. And for anyone that wants to know the little spinach wrap things I was doing, I think I figured that out. Make them smaller, thinner, and make sure the toothpicks are in more long ways. That way you can roll them. And they work good in the skillet. So I think I just invented something. That's funny because you follow the vocals. Yeah, the vocals are kind of supposed to follow you to a point. I mean, there's certain sections in it, And there's cues and there's your change ups and all that stuff. And a lot of the times the vocalist is going to start it off. But the rest of the band should be listening to you. I can see where you do that. There was a band a long time ago, Chlorine, and some people were trying to set me up with their drummer. He had the bus, he had the contracts and all that still. And this is like 30 years ago. And they got a little bit of success, and same old story. They got off into drugs and everything. The band breaks up, but the drummer still had all the contracts. He had the bus, he had the gear, he had everything. And at the time was when I was going through that stage of heavier strings, darker sound, all that kind of stuff. And I nearly did that. That's one band that I nearly joined. Would have been interesting to know what would have come of that. My wife wouldn't let me do that now. She already had a bad enough time when I was doing show freight, and she doesn't want me around all the groupies. Like, I wouldn't be around the groupies. I'm around roadies. They look like they're walking in the ark or something when they walk in your trailer, 2x2, grab a fiber crate, two of them walk out with a fiber crate. Dreadlocks, look like they hadn't showered in a while. They're good at their job though. And literally 2x2, I'm unwrapping, unstacking. I've got a big pile of moving blankets and straps because, pallets aren't really going anywhere like that. But if you've got a whole bunch of fiber crates and stuff like that on wheels, every second or third row, you've got to put another strap in there. And these things have got to be done. And hold on a second. Okay, I think they're done finally. Just finishing up dinner. Well, I'm still cooking dinner. And I've got to do a little bit more filming. So hold on a second. Wipe this down because I got grease everywhere. The thing about cooking is you're constantly getting things dirty and you're constantly having to wipe things down, especially for filming. So my throat's a little better, but I keep feeling I have to cough. This took about 40 minutes in the oven. The one on the left is the one that is seared, and the one on the right is the one that was not seared. The filling will try to come out of it. That's the reason that they are toothpicked together. And I will pleat this up and I will show you that. So I am filming. And I do need to plate this up somehow. I'm not sure what way would work better. Because I want it presentable. Wondering if I should use 2 plates. I probably should. All right. Let me move some of this stuff out of the way for reasons. Let's see. Sorry, this is a little haphazard. Doing two things, or technically more than that, at once. So, let me move my camera. All right, we're going to film again. This is what the one that I didn't sear looks like plated up. This is a chicken bomb, and be careful of where you put the toothpicks in. Kind of remind yourself of where they are, because you're going to have to pull them out. Now I need to cut it in half. My dogs are going nuts. Sorry about that. Had a mastiff going after a cat. All right, this is how it looks cut up. I'm trying to work on my presentation a little bit there. And like I said, this is one that was not seared. Okay, sorry about that. I have cats that like to tease the dog. Are the cats smarter than the dog? Probably. Is the dog way bigger than them? Yes. And so it ends up sounding like a Clydesdale running down my hallway. Because he's a mastiff, but he's a Great Dane and Boxer mix. And he doesn't look as lanky as he used to, but he can still move fast in a straight line. The cats can outcorner him. And so it'll be this blur of a cat, one or the other or both of them. And they're like bouncing off everything like a pinball machine, trying to get away from him. and he's coming down the hallway. So that happens a few times a day. The dog and the cats, well, they get along like dogs and cats. All right, now I'm going to do a little more filming on this side. Video up. This is the one that I seared first, then wrapped in bacon, then put it in the oven. Okay, cool. Now, I'm going to cut it open for the whole presentation thing. This one was just a little bit smaller, and here it is cut open. See, it's got the filling down there. And that is a chicken bone. It is one of my Angry meals, a collaboration that I'm doing with Angry. He goes by Angry Platypus. And I will be doing a few more of his meals. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, my voice is going to sound like complete crap. Not much I can do about that. But I'm going to sit down here and I'm going to eat. In just a second, so let me mute this again. I need to do something. Okay, I'm back. Little update on what happened there with my dog and the cat. We got two different dressers in our bedroom. One's taller than the other. The one that's long with the big mirror on it and all that, that's my wife's. And I've got the taller, skinnier one that's got a big door that opens up on the side. And the cat tried to jump off the bed onto the tall one, and she didn't quite make it. And the dog she likes to tease was right underneath her. So basically, she was running from the jaws of death down the hallway. And she's on top of a bookcase right now. It makes life interesting. But I've got all the filming for the chicken bomb video done. And take a few more pictures here. I'll take a bunch and see what turns out the best. Before I start eating this one. But if y'all cook this, remember where the toothpicks are, because you're going to have to pull them out. The toothpicks are just to hold it together while it's cooking. And I think I'm going to send this to Angry. See what he thinks. So if you've been listening the whole time, you've got to listen to my filming process. So I'm sending a message to Angry now. Not used to this platform. His recipe, so where's a better picture? Oh well. Those are enough. He can see them. Bacon wrapped pork ribs and a fully loaded salad. That is awesome. That sounds really, really good. Right now, I am eating chicken bones. My wife doesn't like spinach though. She said she'd probably like it without the spinach. Or she said she liked it, she just wouldn't want the spinach. Because that's her. We have our differences. It's like we both like, 80s, early 90s metal. And she's more hair metal, I'm more thrash metal, but we kind of overlap. We both still like Bon Jovi and Warrant and Winger and all that. But, I'm more Metallica, Anthrax, Slayer. And she, listens like Bullet Boys and all that stuff. Kind of a compliment to each other. And I have to say, this is pretty good. I don't know if I've done a chat this long before. This is 2 hours and 46 minutes. And let me see. 7 o'clock, I've got to be 45 minutes away from the yard. And that means I probably need to leave the yard at 6. I'm going to hook up to a roll-off trailer pickup. It's 5:30. I need to be at the yard at 5. I need to leave the house at 3. So I need to be up at 1 a.m. That's lovely. But it's a living. I'm going to eat my food. I may hop on another chat. I don't know. While I'm eating or something if somebody else is on. But thank you so much for watching, everyone that has lasted this long. I appreciate it. But I'm going to end the chat now. And eat my food. This video will probably be out either tonight or in the morning. Depends on how I feel when I finish eating, because I do need to get to bed. And thank you so much for watching. I'm going to go ahead and end this. Bye-bye.